What's talking? That's right, me. In this video, I will be talking about hip hop and focus on a few famous artists that you'll see. I will be using a review system that talks about bars, beat, drip, and overall creativity. Obviously, this is my opinion and you can give yours in the comments, so please respect my scores and understand my overall intents. But for now, take a nice chair and sit, and let's get into it. But before I begin, first a few disclaimers. First of all, I know that these are all very famous and that there are way more hip hop artists. And that's why if you guys like this video, let me know in the comments if you want a part 2. Secondly, you might be wondering why there aren't any white people. And that's because white people can't rap. It's just facts. And lastly, I also don't really care for this review what the background or character is of the artist. I'm here to talk about hip hop, not Nazi speech.
Obama, hamburger, sussy balls. Lil Mosey is white, sussy balls.
The first artist I want to talk about is Kanye West. And Kanye West is probably the most famous artist on this list. And probably one of the most famous artists around the globe. Kanye is tied to Taylor in my opinion when it comes to how famous he is. But Kanye being popular makes perfect sense because he just doesn't die. I mean, every few years he just makes another album that just bombs the world. He just always comes back with a few bangers. And although these past 5 years he has kind of died down a bit when it comes to bangers in my opinion. But even then you can't deny Kanye's talent. Kanye is not afraid to experiment in his songs, which makes a lot of his songs sound different from each other and recognizable. And don't get me wrong, in my opinion his experimentation doesn't always work, but overall it's insane how many times he does it right. And this makes sense because he has won 24 Grammys already, which is insane. Kanye was known as a very nice guy and overall kind of a playboy, I guess, but over the years he has turned his music into a more raw and experimental tone, even using choirs to perform in his songs and other interesting instruments. But in my eyes, every Kanye song has that Kanye vibe in it that just makes it smooth, and that has never changed or aged. Kanye's bars are a bit off in my opinion. This is gonna sound weird, but no joke, the worst part about Kanye's songs are when Kanye starts singing and his bars are really doo-doo. For example, the doctor said I had blood clots, but I ain't Jamaican, man. Or, now if I fuck this model as she just bleached her asshole and I get bleach on my t-shirt, I'ma feel like an asshole. Or, I'm just saying, hey Mona Lisa, come home, you know you can't roam without Caesar. Okay, or the most famous line of all, watch this some shit go. Boopity scoop, scoop dee whoop, whoop dee scoop dee poop, poop dee scoop dee whoop, whoopity scoop, whoop poop, poop dee whoop scoop, poop poop, scoop dee whoop. Whoop diddy scoop, whoop diddy scoop poop. So overall, Kanye's bars are a 5 out of 10 for me. Sorry, I hope you can understand. Although his beats are a 10 out of 10 for me. And yes, I know not all of his songs are good, but I've never had an artist where I like this many songs from them. Like goddamn, and the beats are just too good. I have to. Now the best album is a heavy debate. I think a lot of people think Graduation is Kanye's best album, but in my opinion it's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. All the songs in this album are a lot more raw and loud and even use guitars and shit, and that's just hot as fuck. 8 from the 13 songs I've listened to a lot. Like, yeah, I think I'm just realizing that Kanye is probably one of my favorite artists, and I have listened to Kanye the most compared to other artists. But yeah, the other 5 songs of this album aren't even bad, but just not as good. But it's really still a good album if 8 out of 13 songs are goddamn bangers. Overall, my album score is a 9 out of 10. Now, I thought it would be funny if I also rate the artist's drip, because like, I don't know, and with drip I mean the outfits and shit. Artists always have like the weirdest outfits, and I thought it would be funny, so let's go. Now, I think Kanye overall definitely has a certain style, although a few times he does do something really wacky, but overall, I do like his style, but it's nothing really to write home about. It's kind of just short shirts or sweaters and sometimes a suit or something and sunglasses. Overall, Kanye's drip is a 7 out of 10 for me. Now, the last thing is creativity. And I don't think I need to argue with anyone that this is a 10 out of 10. Like, you just can't deny the impact that Kanye has had on the music industry and the craft of his song. Kanye is so creative that you know if a song is from Kanye, even if you didn't listen to it once, because Kanye's music is just so different from other rap and music in general. Like I said, Kanye is also not afraid to dip his toes into the water and try different things. Now, my overall score for Kanye is an 8.75 out of 10, so a 9 out of 10. How I calculate is basically how you normally calculate grades, but I do it so that drip and bars have less value because I don't think those really matter that much in my opinion. But anyway, let's move on to the next artist.
Hearing these strange sounds come up in the kitchen. Holy shit. It's the Slender Man.
Now, MF Doom is a weird one to include, but over the last few years he has just gotten so popular to the point that even some kids in my class know him. So yeah, I don't really know much about MF Doom, so I'll keep it quick. Now, Doom's bars are just like, dang. I mean, Doom does this thing where he doesn't really rap on the beat, it's more like spoken word, I guess, but his bars are just so nicely rhymed and put together, which makes the song feel so nice. For example, true to the ski mask, New York's my origin, play a fake gangster like an old accordion. According to him, when the D's rushed in, complication from the wire testimony was thin. Like, that's what I call mother flipping bars. 8 out of 10. Now, when it comes to beat, I think it's a 9 out of 10 for me when it comes to Doom. I think his beats are better than Kanye, but Kanye has more songs that have a very good beat. MF Doom, in my opinion, only has about 10 songs that are really good, and for the rest they are kind of meh. Although I think his best album hereby is Food, or I don't know how you pronounce it. And it sadly only has 2 songs that I like though. Yeah, I don't like Hoe Cakes. Fight Me. Doom has this weird thing where every album has like 2 or 3 like super good songs, and for the rest, well, they aren't bad but just not very good or anything. I mean, although the other songs aren't like bad, they are good background music and still have some bars. But yeah, because it's only 2 out of 15 songs in the album that I like, but the songs are incredibly good, I think it's a 5 out of 10. Not higher because it's still an album score, not a song score, but yeah. Now, when it comes to the drip rating, it's a 10 out of 10. I mean, the dude wears a fucking metal mask. What more do you want? And even his merch is good. And even aside from his merch and mask, he still has some good drip. I mean, yeah, 10 out of 10. Easy. Now, his creativity is a tough one for me to score. He does have some impact on the music industry and his songs are really different than others. But aside from a few bangers, it's not really that good in my opinion. I think he gets an 8 out of 10. And by the way, probably every artist, maybe not 1 or 2, is gonna get an 8 or higher for creativity, because I picked the most famous and epic ones, and most of the time they are famous and epic for a reason. Now, MF Doom ends with a score of 7.75 out of 10, which is an 8 out of 10, and that's that. Well, Drake is probably my least favorite artist on this list, so get prepared to get pissed. When I think of rap music that all those 15-year-old kids blast on their speakers at skate parks, it's Drake's music. But overall, Drake does have a few songs that I really like a lot, and I'm basic, so it's mostly his most famous songs. One Dance, God's Plan, Hotline Bling, and Passion Fruit. Drake has won 5 Grammys, is number 3 on Spotify, and has over 84 million listeners monthly, which is insane. Drake's bars are alright overall, I think. Personally, I look at Drake's music in two kind of versions. You have his straight rap and rap collabs with others, and you have his more relaxed, groovy, flowing music, like One Dance or God's Plan. But I think that in his rap songs, I'm sorry, but his bars are just not for me. But in his other songs, his bars are pretty epic, so I'll give him a 7 out of 10 for bars, I guess. His beat, in my opinion, is overall not that good. Again, a few songs are very good, but for the rest it just sounds, and yes, I'ma say this, basic. I do gotta say in Drake's defense that Drake is the artist that I listened the least to, so maybe he has way more bangers than I thought, but yeah, I'ma give him a 6 out of 10 for beat, and it's really the bangers that carry this one. Now, Drake's best album in my opinion is Scorpion. I just like the vibe of that album. With all my hate for Drake, it's kind of gone in that album. This album is pretty good. There are still a lot of songs that I wouldn't really listen to, although the songs do feel like a big blurry blend after a while. It's hard to say how many songs I really like about this album, but I'll say about 7 out of 25. Overall album score is a 8 out of 10, I think. It's his best album. Now, Drake's drip is nothing special. It's alright, I guess. It's kind of the same with Kanye, just a bit above normal clothes and sometimes some epic outfit. But yeah, 7 out of 10. So, Drake's final score is perfectly a 7 out of 10. And I think that is perfect in my opinion, because Drake, I think, is a really good artist, but he's just not my type. So, yeah. Anyway, next artist.
Yo, I'm a fucking homosexual. What?
Tyler, the Creator, is probably one of the most upcoming artists on this list. He has won 2 Grammys and is on number 144 on Spotify. I think Flower Boy is his real breakthrough. This album put him as one of the bigs, and then he made Igor in 2019 and Call Me If You Get Lost in 2021. And those albums are both fire. Tyler, the Creator, is one of those artists where I only have a few songs in my playlist, but I just listen directly to his albums. Tyler, the Creator, has probably the most grooviest bars that I have ever heard. His lyrics during his songs are just all over the place, but his songs are most of the time also all over the place, and that makes it blend very good, I guess. You don't really listen to Tyler, the Creator, for his lyrics, although in his Igor album, or again Igor, I think his lyrics are a lot better, but still his bar score is pretty low in my opinion. 6 out of 10. His beats though, his beats are crusty. He isn't as great as Kanye, but so many songs by Tyler I just can listen to for hours. It's just so groovy. 9 out of 10. Tyler, the Creator's best album in my opinion is Igor. I mean, the songs in there are just so hot. Earthquake, Igor's Theme, or Igor, again, I don't know. New Magic Wand, I think, and more are just straight saucy bangers. Igor uses a lot of loud bass and choirs, which is, I guess, the same with Kanye, just my kink, I guess. I like 6 out of 12 songs of this album, and by the way, I should have said it earlier, but when I say like, I mean I favorite them in Spotify. I still like the other songs, but I don't actively listen to them. But yeah, epic album, 8 out of 10. Now, the man's drip, easy 10 out of 10. I mean, I have never, ever seen anyone more gorgeous than Tyler, the Creator. And last but not least, his creativity is also a 9 out of 10. He experiments with everything, but still has his own style. He is very different from other rappers, and his creativity also works most of the time. This leaves Tyler, the Creator, with a score of 8.5 out of 10. So a 9 out of 10. And this makes perfect sense because I like him a lot, but I do think Kanye is better in my opinion, so yeah.
What's up, world? Yeah, you. I'm Travis Scott. This is my McDonald's order. Follow me.
Now, I don't really know a lot about Travis Scott aside from his Oopsie at his concert and his Sicko Mode song, and of course his Utopia album. Travis Scott is number 19 on Spotify and he has 0 Grammys, although he has been nominated a few times. I don't really like Travis Scott, I more just like his song Sicko Mode and his album Utopia. Travis Scott's bars are just kind of meh in my opinion. They don't really feel special, but they flow nice with his music. I've never actually listened to what the fuck he's saying, so that's that. So yeah, overall bar score is a 5 out of 10 for me. Now his beats are giant. I mean, his Utopia album, there is not a single song that I don't groove to at least a bit. And even outside his album, most of his songs have some volume to them, you know? Overall, his songs are kinda alright. They are either really fire or they are background noise. So overall, 7 out of 10 when it comes to beat. Album score is where Travis really shines though. His album Utopia is a goddamn masterpiece. I think it's also funny that the songs I like the most in his album have the least listens to, like Sirens, Del Resto or something like that, Circus Maximus. Like, the songs that are popular are also epic. From the 19 songs, there are like maybe 5 or something that I wouldn't listen to, but for the rest they are all really fine. 10 out of 10, solid album. Travis's drip is it's even worse than Kanye and Drake. Like, he literally just wears normal clothes, but with his beautiful face like that, can you really blame him? 6 out of 10 for his drip. Travis Scott is very interesting as an artist because, like Kanye and Tyler, he does use all kinds of beats and matches them in a way that is creative and nice, but still he feels very different because of his voice, but also his style. It's kind of raw, but then dipped with 100 kilos of auto-tune, and he uses way more basic like rap tunes, kind of like some drills and shit. He is way more stuck in the more popular form of rap, but he does expand and bring his own taste in it. I think for overall creativity, I give Travis an 8 out of 10. Travis's final score is a 7.6 out of 10, and therefore an 8 out of 10. Kendrick Lamar is probably one of my most favorite artists in this video, and probably just in general. Kendrick has won 17 Grammys and is number 39 on Spotify. Kendrick just does something different, and that is his lyrics. Kendrick really tells a story in his songs. It's not just like I fuck bitches and I have hella money. He even has a song called We Cry Together where he just acts an argument with his wife with a beat in the background. And even a lot of his songs, he opens or ends with a speech of some kind. Most of his songs tell a story about his life, especially in his new album, which really just feels like a therapy session with music. I give Kendrick Lamar a 10 out of 10 for his bars. Some of his songs I don't even like the beat, but I still listen to them just to hear his story. And it's not like his bars are everything. His beats also go pretty hard at times, especially in the songs All the Stars, Humble, Alright, and United in Grief. I also think it's interesting that Kendrick's old music is mostly way more, well, street rap, I guess, while his new songs are way more classical like and are way more diverse in instruments. Overall, I give Kendrick an 8 out of 10 when it comes to beat. In my wacky opinion, his best album is actually Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I fucking love this album. This album is the therapy session what I talked about. This album is just so clean and nice and emotional. As songs, I like about 7 of them, but the rest still feel nice. The rest isn't background music, and this is gonna sound wacky, but this album isn't really an album in my opinion. It tells a story, the story of Kendrick Lamar. This album, just like Utopia, it's a goddamn masterpiece. 10 out of 10. Now Kendrick's drip is at the same level as Drake and Kanye. 7 out of 10. Kendrick Lamar is one of the most creative artists of our time. And the funny part is that I don't even listen to him that much to say that. I think the important thing is that his new albums keep getting more interesting, and that I am really excited to see what the future has to hold for Kendrick. His creativity gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Kendrick Lamar gets an 8.6 out of 10, and therefore a 9 out of 10. I hope you guys like this video. And here is the tier list that I have represented. I hope you guys like it. Some of you probably don't, and therefore please comment in the comment section what you guys think, because I'm really curious. But overall, I hope you guys do like this video itself, and like if you like it, dislike if you don't, and please subscribe because I really want to hit 100 subs. But anyway, bye bye and thanks for listening.